that little bit of, like, distortion down there. That might just be my emulator. Anyway, folks, I recently discovered that the Sega Genesis Mini 2 has... You can't hear anything. That's weird, because I've got sound going. Yeah, oh. Yeah. So the Sega Genesis Mini includes a version of this game that has an easier mode, which is great, because Phantasy Star 2 is a pretty hard game. Most of the Phantasy Star RPGs from the pre-PSO era were quite difficult. And this one is kind of special even in that regard, because my understanding has generally been that this is like shorten your life difficult. Considering that the game came out in 1989, though, this is definitely a very interesting bit of history with a lot of stuff going on here, and not the use of the phrase mother brain that existed in Metroid back in the... We played Metroid 1. I'm pretty sure none of us liked it, but we did play Metroid 1. In general, this series has always kind of been like very, very forward thinking with a lot of RPG shit in general. And just stuff in a lot of things, period, full stop, words. Ugh. Boy, it's a good thing that speaking off the cuff and speaking out scripts are a hell of a lot different skills. Otherwise, I'd be like, how do you make anything that you ever make? How do you ever be coherent? And to be fair, sometimes I kind of think that way too. Obviously, the OG Phantasy Star was one of the very earliest console RPGs. Out of, like, the three big ones that people think of between Dragon Quest, that, and Final Fantasy, it was the second to be released in Japan, and the first over here in America, interestingly enough. It came out before both Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy. So I kind of wonder if Nintendo said, yeah, you know what, put those out in the US, was somewhat inspired by the fact that that game did pretty well over in the US, which is shocking, especially when you consider the price tag at the time, because, yeah, the original Phantasy Star, very large cartridge, 4 megabit, which for the time was effing huge. Reminder that the original Mother was a 4 megabit cartridge, and NOA had a full localization of it, and they canceled it. My running theory on that one has always been that it's because they wanted to divert resources to the Super Nintendo instead of taking a weird gamble. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting shit going on with those games, and Phantasy Star 1 almost had a kind of interesting idea that I admit that I'd be a little bit concerned about how well handled it would be. Of the character Noah, who is originally known as Lutz in Japanese and was later translated as Lutz in this game for reasons that these games are not really the best translated, to be perfectly honest with you. So, in the very earliest versions of the drafts of Phantasy Star 1, Lutz / Noah was a character of sort of indeterminate gender. The phrase that I've heard referred to it was androgynous, and that's kind of... That was put up on Wikipedia, so blah, 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 technical terms versus all this other shit. And the idea was supposed to be that his gender, or at least gender expression, would change depending on certain choices that you made throughout the game in this original version of it. And I think that that's a pretty delicate thing, but it is also like, hey, that was 1987. You're just getting your foot in the door on a concept like that anyway, aren't you? Anyway, this game also is quite huge for the time, much like Phantasy Star 1. A whopping 6 megabit cartridge. This came out in 1989 in Japan. So to give you an idea, the NES did not get 6 megabit cartridges, which there were a few. I think Dragon Quest IV and I know Kirby's Adventure until several years later. So for anybody who's like curious about any of that kind of stuff, there you go. Just astronomically large for 1989. Also, hey, good job fucking around there, Nintendo. I am so proud of you for being idiots. Did we get kicked back to the title screen? Ah, god damn it. Right, because my buttons are a little bit funny. And by a little bit funny, I mean, obviously this is a Genesis controller. And by a Genesis controller, I mean I'm using a PS4 controller in place of a Genesis controller. What I pressed was technically the B button. So I already know that the lead character of this game is named Rolf, I think. I know, I just said I know and then I think. I'm going to go double check and make sure that I'm not being an idiot. His name is something different in Japanese, but it's you. Yeah, his name in English is Rolf, which is deeply funny because we're not talking about Rolf from Ed, Edd n Eddy, but we're going to put in default names for our characters for the time being. Also, yes, rub for erase. That's a thing that we did. I would assume that ADV is supposed to be like space. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, going back over, we're going to name ourselves after a dog from the Muppets or something. Wait. Yeah, I would assume that that's what it is advanced. That's just an interesting way of putting it. I missed part of the dialogue. I'm sorry, I was talking. All I can do is watch while the demon keeps striking at the girl. Ah, yes, he's having visions of Elisa fighting Dark Falls, or Dark Force, or Dark Phallus in some of the translations. Yeah. A large part of that seems to be like just translation wonkiness with the Dark Phallus, etc., and the Proto Falls enemy being called Prophallus in English, Phantasy Star 4. That seems to just be like weird translation, but I think it's interesting that they so consistently put in a lot of weird, especially in the early ones, that the localizations seem to put in this slightly more Giger-esque kind of theming to a lot of it. And I mean that in the sense of like how, the Alien was, we all know what Alien was about, right? We're not stupid. Dark Phallus was a translation that was offered sometimes. I believe that the name is generally accepted to be Dark Falls, spelled Falz in the localization, and that has been used consistently since the Phantasy Star Online period, with the name Dark Force being typically selected for the Phantasy Star 2 through 4 era. In Phantasy Star 1, it was Dark Falls, spelled the same way as in PSO and future games. But yeah, the translation on this series has very typically been really, really, really jacked up for a wide variety of reasons. So you'll get a lot of things that are just like weirdly off. But an interesting thing is that the boss, oh shit, it went out of my head right now. Oh, that's good. There's a boss in Phantasy Star 1 that the Japanese name is Nightmare. And it attacks you in Nightmare. What do you expect? And it's supposed to be like a projection of the Dark Force attacking Alyssa because it knows that she's going to kill it at some point. But the localization changed it to Succubus, i.e. succubus, but they misspelled it. And again, this repeating thing throughout these early games of making Dark Force and the associated forces having more openly sexual symbolism is an interesting choice as a localization. Anyway, we're going to say nothing about the monster in Phantasy Star 4 that basically just births other monsters. We'll talk about that some other time when I actually play that game. Oh god, my water bottle is leaking. Shit. Let me fix that. Is Rolf, an agent here in Paseo, the capital of Mota. Mota being Motavia, but due to character limits and the fact that they, like a lot of game companies, didn't seem to know how to rescript around those. They end up using shortened versions of the planets and even the star system name. Where the star system is, of course, the Algol star system, referred to as Algo throughout a lot of the translations, and that has a different meaning nowadays. With the three planets being Parma, often localized as Palm, due to LR issues, Motavia, and Dezalis. Or Dezoris. I'm not 100% sure on that one. It, of course, gets cut off to Dezo, so I'm not completely sure of that. Which, interestingly, Dezalis is... You might think, oh, that's the desert planet. No, that's the ice planet. And this is the boss here. Yes, Mother Brain got sick of eating so many missiles and came over here to come fuck around, I guess. Wait. I already made a Metroid reference, so meh. We got some monsters, huh? This is how it always goes, isn't it? Go to the Biosystems lab and set the recorder. We can look into the data and figure out how the Biosystems lab ended up making those monsters. Goddamn splicers. Very tall, like, overworld sprites we've got. At least I feel like they're really tall. This is an era where you had a lot of squares, like square size for those, so yeah. She was a mixture of human cells and those of a biomonster. She was an outcast from society. Yeah, she's a mutant, guys. She, like, grows up from being a child all the way up to an adult very fast due to her mixed genome. And she wants to come with us. Well, it couldn't hurt to have another party member, right? Okay, so circle button is our menu. Well, it means she's probably going to die in the story. Oops, spoilers. But also, yeah, she would probably, like, continue aging at that rate, wouldn't she? So let's see what we can what we can learn about our party here. Not much from that, but she doesn't have a whole lot of HP. And we got 200 Meseta. That's probably not enough to buy anything useful. Our order interface. This looks very like... Well, I guess it was 1989, wasn't it? It looks so old school. This is significantly more ancient than I am definitely familiar with. So, yeah, that'll be fun. Nay, however, does come with the Res ability. Also known as Resta in later games. That is our healing spell. And STRNG, what is that supposed to be? Because it just looks like string. Obviously, equip is down there. Rolf is just carrying a knife and wearing some very generic shoes. And wearing a carbon suit is what the... So, what, like, graphite plating or something? I don't know. Nay, however, doesn't get a full suit. She gets just a vest, and she's wearing sandals and has a ribbon on her head. Well, at least one of us was sensible and wore some sort of head equipment. Meanwhile, we have no other gear, no surprises there. So does everybody have an individual inventory? Is that what we're looking at? That's kind of interesting if so. A button to talk to people. Many people have been killed there by a man named Darum. I have a feeling we're going to have to deal with that guy. We'll take a look at what we've got here. Okay, your item storage, man. All right. Anything of use in the library? Alright, what can you tell me about any of this shit, actually? Yeah, Motavia was the desert planet on... in Phantasy Star 1, so like 1,000 years ago. And it was terraformed thanks to Mother Brain. And it built a lot of these other machines. These text boxes could stand with being cleared when they're done. But again, 1989. You know, can't say too much about it, right? Biosystems labs, where creatures suitable to live on Motavia are created through breed improvements. Data. I think storing all that in one place might be a questionable idea. However, 2 years ago, one incident which happened in the Biosystems lab brought about a creature that is dangerous to humans. Biosystems lab was shut down immediately, but no report on the cause or remedy has been made yet. So, in short, yeah, they've only been pumping out these monsters for 2 years. That's probably alright. Climatrol is a system to adjust the weather of Motavia. Yeah, you probably need that to, like, terraform this whole planet green. Controls the temperature and maintains the proper amounts of rainfall, and so on. Usually a very dry planet with no natural rainfall. None? Eesh. That's rough. I mean, how do you get into a position like that anyway? Because, like, the evaporation of water, eventually there should still be rain from that, so... Was there literally no water? I don't remember. I haven't played Phantasy Star 1 in a while, so... Yeah. Anything else? Tell me about the dam. Built between each river and lake. Control the amount of water. Yeah. Green dam, yellow dam, red dam, and blue dam. In order to enter each dam, a card whose color matches the color of the dam is required. It's supposed to be in a control tower, but its location is a secret. Okay, so that seems like a lot of information that I will not remember. Hopefully, that's something that we can, like, intuit over time. Mother Brain is a huge computer with enough power to control everything in the world of Algol. Oh, just like in Chrono Trigger. Wait. My life is monitored, supported by Mother Brain. Alma in the year AW 845. Network Spectrum Octavian Dezalis. Full systems, all this, yeah. Nobody seems to know anything about it. Well, thank you for the lore dump. It wasn't too long, actually. Anybody else got any useful information? Guy named Darum will... Yeah, we've heard about Darum. I don't think I need to do that. That's... Well... Alright, so at least Nate will level up faster, I think. Yeah, it sounds like it might be a long way to get there. Clone Labs. Okay, yes, so this is where we go to get resurrected. Very sort of FF1 era. And I guess like older Dragon Quest as well. Where you have to always go back to town to get revived. And it costs you money. But in this game, it's very explicitly that you're cloned back to life. Also, I went in this building already. Oops, I got slightly confused. I thought that was a different one. This one is teleportation. Yeah, so we don't know anywhere else outside of this place because I guess Rolf is kind of a yokel. So we can't go teleport anywhere, which is fine. We have, like, no money, and I'm sure that if we teleport somewhere, we'll just get our asses handed to us, probably. As if we're not going to get our asses handed to us in the first place, right? So, we've got a whole lot of not enough money for any of this bullshit. We can at least buy a headgear, I guess, for Rolf, can't we? But on the other hand, I do kind of want to save my money in case I have to revive anyone. What do you got for items? Ah, yes. Here they're using the familiar item names from later PSO games. Because I guess these are significantly more synthetic healing items. For our monomate, dimate, etc. That's our healing, and obviously mono die, one of those is significantly stronger than the other. You can probably guess which one. Oh yeah, we're gonna pick up this steel bar, which calling it a bar is a strange choice. It's supposed to be a claw that we can give to Nay so she can have a weapon. I have no idea off the top of my head what else anyone else, like, who's supposed to equip any of the firearms or anything. Which in this, if I recall how these games work, and I don't know that I do, I believe those will operate where they will deal, like, basically fixed damage to enemies. Yes, a bit of a fast switch over in terms of screen here. Since we played PSO episode 2, you might recognize this little musical motif as one that actually shows up in one of the stages there. And I guess we're sort of auto-fighting here a little bit. I did not realize that was going to be a thing. I guess we have to hit strategy to... Yeah. Okay, so... Interesting, yeah, you do that in order to tell it to do different things. And... yes. Again, a little bit on the bizarre side for what we're used to, but you have to remember, this game is old as fuck. And I'm going to keep pointing it out because it's not going to stop being true. But also, I think it's neat that we've got our enemy sprites are animated, because you don't see that a lot with most of the more well-known turn-based RPGs. Nay, you should heal yourself real quick, and... and then Rolf will deal with that. Good job there, Rolf Harris. Hooray! She gained some points, and it didn't tell us how much. Oh, she gained all of like 2 HP, and probably about that much TP. I wasn't watching any of the other stats, unsurprisingly. Because I usually don't focus that hard on that stuff anyway. Oh boy, what do we got to deal with these guys? Hopefully they're also fairly easy like the other enemies we've dealt with so far. Although having 3 of them compared to the previous battle... yeah, they're not doing a ton of damage. I guess at bare minimum, the other things we fought, the mosquitoes earlier, we had 3 of those as well. So these fire ants are not too bad, thankfully. The main thing that I remember from Phantasy Star 1 is that the enemies in the first area are drastically different in terms of their power level. So you kind of have to grind levels early on, and you'll sometimes just go out there and you may end up encountering as your first encounter a fairly large group of enemies who are all very, very strong. And yeah, they'll sometimes just kill your ass. And even if you try to run away, obviously that's down to RNG as well. And it's a thing that I don't really particularly like about it, and a lot of hard RPGs are kind of pains in the ass anyway, so... Wow, the lake even dried up. That's pretty severe. Anyway, I'm looking for a place where I can save the game, definitely, because... I admit that I don't know... Is this going to be the place where I save? Because our levels are gained automatically. Yeah, we're just going to call this one STRM because it's stream-ish. I gotcha. This is probably going to take me a little bit to get used to, but shouldn't be too long, I hope. Cost 16. Yeah, that's not too bad. See, ultimately, we just kind of... Well, at least we paid off Nay's new equipment, right? But there is still going to be some farming here at the beginning because that's just kind of how it goes, right? Mega based upon Metatron. Interesting. There's something else that I knew about. Hold on a sec. I'm going to... Right. Speaking of other shit that we usually talk about on this channel a lot, there is a new emergency ban list that they update that they just issued for Yu-Gi-Oh! Recently. And by recently, I mean literally just last week. Unfortunately, I just got emails about it recently from other websites. And it looks like a lot of Floodgate cards that they added on there, which, yeah, sounds about right to me. Oh, right. This thing won't accept inputs, so I'm out of it. That's what I get for trying to multitask during a stream. I deserve it. Yeah, not knowing a huge amount about the current meta or anything in Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh god. Oh. Yeah, the Poisoner shows up and immediately paralyzes us and really starts whooping our asses. I am going to try taking another turn and see how this kind of goes. Okay, at least paralysis is temporary, so that's good. I haven't seen the new Genesis update yet. But I mean, wow, they've had a lot of updates for that already, so they must be doing quite a few events with it. I can't lie, I actually am like sorely tempted to go look into that because I miss playing any card games, period. Yeah, I assume that Fossil Dyna is getting hit because just the sheer amount of hitting floodgates they've been doing recently, period. Let me double check that's the one that I'm... And I also just read its stats overall and be like, hey, is there some sort of trick that you can use to get that thing out more easily? Yeah, it looked like there was a lot of rocks that got hit, so... So yeah, with Fossil Dyna, Fossil Dyna being a 1200, 1300 Earth rock, that seems like you'd have a lot of ways to just sneak that out, basically. Or otherwise do some shit with it. And sure... No, it wouldn't destroy itself, pardon me. That's only if it is flipped face up. But just the ability to pull that out so easily. And with so many decks not being very oriented around normal summon monsters... Fossil Dyna is also not a flip effect, so I think it happens before combat damage does. So, like, somebody could swing into that and then their monsters are just eliminated and the attack is just ended instantly. Gotcha. Gotcha. Because, yeah, I don't 100% remember the exact way that that works. Oh, yeah, that doesn't tell us our amount of experience we need. It just tells us the fact that Nea is level 5 and Rolf is level 3. Again, almost as if she's going to die early in the plot. Oops, spoilers, but it's like one of the most famous things about this game. It's like talking about Aerith dying, really. Yeah, and those stats would kind of make it pretty easy, right? Yeah, so there you go. After this fight, I'll go back to heal again. I think we're probably getting to an area where we can go back soon. Yeah, see, I thought Block Dragon was banned, like, and had been forever. Maybe it came back. You can tell how well I remember any of the ban lists, but listen, I don't actively play, so it's perhaps a little more understandable. Anyway, can we buy shields yet? We can buy a carbon ML. So the MLs are usually used for okay, so that would be used for more of like an actual mage for their sort of mage shield. Yeah, Block Dragon seems like something that would go a little bit too far. Yeah, that's just kind of a problem. Ah, we got ambushed. It was... Honestly, it was more because I fell asleep at, like, a weird period, like, way early, so... Because my sleep schedule's been all fucked up, but that definitely didn't help. Because that was pretty bad. I didn't touch those last 2 levels for a very good reason. Tomorrow, I might boot up Vampire Survivors again. And probably still some Dead Estate also, but there's also a new Vampire Survivors DLC. Again, another free one, which is nice. And it's a Balatro crossover. It's fucking microscopic, though. I already got all the unlocks from it in, like, 6 hours or so. But they also added more content to the Castlevania DLC for that game, which I think is nice for them to just be like, hey, we're going to give you free extra content for the DLC that you have too. And while you could probably make a thing of like, oh, well, wouldn't it be nice if it wasn't DLC based? And sure, on some level, but also game is less than 20 bucks for everything all in, I'm pretty sure, even at this point, which is still a perfectly respectable price range. And second of all, the fact that they expanded an already large DLC to make absolutely damn sure that you get your money's worth, in this day and age, I admire that. Listen, every other video game company is just trying to rip you off constantly. Even any of the ones that we might regard as being kind of alright, like, they're all still doing horrible shit. Listen, modern Sega, I think, is doing pretty well as a company, and again, we're all quite happy about the fact that they're doing good stuff with Sonic. And they are... Oh, she can't use that. Can you use that, Rolf? Nice. And, you know, we all kind of appreciate RGG. We all appreciate where Sonic is going right now. But also, let's not forget that Sega is still doing video game company stuff. And, like, Konami is slowly turning into a surprisingly cool company in a lot of ways. Like, I feel shockingly positive about new Konami, about, like, modern Konami, because of the fact that they are actually doing something that's not just literally gambling machines with any of their franchises. And Silent Hill F. There we go. That's what I was thinking of, was Silent Hill F. That by itself is, like, worth quite a bit of goodwill, in my opinion. But on the other hand, we do also have to remember that Konami is also... They did also re-release that completely needless remake of Snake Eater. I know a lot of people like Snake Eater, and it's not a bad game. But also, genuinely, that remake is completely unnecessary, and on some level, I think sort of defeats a little bit of the purpose with regard to Snake Eater, where a lot of the limitations, you know, the idea of restrictions breeding creativity and all that wank. I'm sure we all love it when I talk about all this art shit. Not to mention, as much as I have an affection for Yu-Gi-Oh!, we do have to remember it's a trading card game. So that's basically just loot boxes, but with cardboard. Even for all the cool art and designs and stuff and the fun rules, that is still kind of a... It's still kind of a form of gambling. I kind of wish it was possible to get the Japanese alt art Diabell Star without paying like $100, but sorry. Don't say things like that. Listen. Neat. What level are you at, Nay? You're at level 8. Yeah, she's fast outpacing us with reasons of because for fast growth genetics, I guess, explains it or something. Listen, I don't think it'll sound good but maybe I just think that about anything I say. Maybe I need to embrace my bad taste more. People like it when the VTubers are, like, weirdly horny. Especially when it's for other girls. I mean, when I stream on Halloween, it'll be at the same time. Or which stream? There's a lot of those out there, believe it or not. Gotcha. Yeah, there's gonna be listen, it's okay if you don't make it. At least the first part is mostly gonna be clown antics. Wait, that everything else will be too, but this is me specifically referring to the Vampire Survivors Balatro DLC. That's fair. I have no idea how useful that number is for anything. What's everybody's HP looking like? Oh, I should definitely go heal. They almost died because I wasn't paying attention. Oops. This is what happens with grinding in general, and I mean, alternately, there's also the part where how interesting is that, even at a concept level. Alright, so Nay can't hold another shield. Can she equip a second steel bar? Let's at least just try to get everybody geared up decently here, so... I don't know if anybody can wear better armor. No, she's not allowed to wear a hat because of her funny elf ears, right? Oh, the typo. Whoop. Oops. Oh yeah, nobody needs to sell anything. I should be good to go on that. On equipment. Although, yeah, I could probably upgrade you. Since that dagger for Rolf would only be an additional, yeah, it would only be 200 gold. Are you sure are you trying to imply that I can't use it? That'd be really weird if I can't use it. Oh, he can't use the dagger. Okay, that's strange. You can use a knife, but not a dagger. Sure. Localization will do that to you. Can you use it, Nay? Probably not. I assume that she's, like, strictly all claws. She doesn't want to take it. Surely somebody can put that thing to use, right? Eventually. So for now, we will hold on to it. Oh, I guess I can only see how much money I have in a shop, right? Okay. Nay, you can't equip that, right? No. I think we're good to go for now, so we can just try moving forward. I should go save real quick before I actually attempt to move forward, because Again, things could go quite badly. My understanding is that this game is really, really hard. So we could be ambushed by a massive jump in difficulty. Oh, we gotta input our file name every time, apparently. That's a choice. Then again... No, actually, that is kind of weird even for 1989. Forget about me being like, well, then again... No, that's genuinely a bizarre idea. Alright, so this... Will this be our green dam here and we can't go in it? Same enemies, I guess. That's fine. Which admittedly, the amount of time that I spent just level farming does kind of make this a little bit more boring, this area here. Oh, here we go. Here's some slightly different enemies. A froggy. It looked like it was going to eat us for a second. And the locust, which is looking a little more mantasy, actually. That does very much look like the grass assassin enemies that we saw in PSO. As much as that game tries to be mostly independent from these, there's still a fair amount of references throughout it, as you'd probably expect. Alright, so what's going on here? It does look like there's been some burning and things going on here. Ah, someone's coming in here throwing some dynamite around, yeah? A building in Shure, huh? Keep their stuff locked somewhere. Okay. Daughter was kidnapped. I mean, yeah, humans are kind of fucked up. It's true. Always come from the east. I see. There's still plenty of folks around here, though. And quite a lot of gravestones arranged in very specifically, like, grids of 5 like that. Huh. That's choice. On the other hand, there is still what looks like a working healing location and a weapons supplier. Have you got anything special here? Oh, you've got quite a bit of stuff that is way too expensive for us. Yeesh. How's about the healing station here? It's a little more expensive, but only marginally. Can't go in there. Or I assume that we don't have to do any, like, inputs for it, so... Time to go back around. Or this way, I suppose. This is a different path. Yeah. Well, at least the encounters are staying easy. I have to admit that I was a little worried. These guys are slightly harder, but only slightly. Ooh, this place looks a little bit more dungeon-y. Yeah, it's definitely no town. Some kind of a facility of some sort. I may have to leave here sooner, depending on how this goes. Although, if they continue to just have bugs... Yeah, walking over these cracked floors are a bit of a concern, but... who knows how mean this game feels like being. Oh, yeah, okay, he was just paralyzed. A little worried. these fights have been as simple as that I've just been slightly zoned out a little bit. Maybe this easy mode was too easy, but on the other hand, there's still the amount of grinding, so it is probably better this way. Assuming that it switched over to the easy mode automatically, and it's not like, oh, hey, here's an input you forgot to do. Can we just examine? Nothing unusual here, you say, and there's this big crack in the wall. And just had to check just in case there was something slightly different, but not the same there. You have anything to say about the cracked floors? Nope. Alright then. Ooh, we got a big group here. 4 enemies, that's quite a lot by the standards that we usually deal with here. We should probably use a healing spell, because we have those. And the fact that we're able to put him to use in a dungeon, good idea to actually do so. Ooh, big obvious button thing. Let's go and stand on it. And before it's a landmine and it kills us completely. That'd be horrible. That would be a design decision, all right. Yep. Oh, is that more like a teleporter then? Huh. Well, alright then. Fun, our first level is a teleport maze. We need something to access that chest. Something key-like, anyway. Ooh, we got some new enemies here. These guys are looking a little bit nastier, but maybe that's just because they're not simple bugs. Good that you can get into fights on the teleport pads, though, like right as you're about to go in there. Classic RPGs. Being just a little bit bumpy. Huh, I have no idea what that was. Hooray! There was actually a level being gained at some point here. Wow. Seemed like it took a bit, though. Alright, just making sure that I didn't miss anything here. Does paralysis wear off after battle? It looks like it, but won't know until I actually get into the fight. I need to double check that I didn't goof up and like forget something, so. Oh yeah, I gotta heal after this one, for sure. She still has plenty of MP, so we're good to go for the time being. Only 20 back? I mean, he probably is about that level of competence at some point or something. Ooh, we got a Diamate. That's pretty handy. Another healing item. Can't complain about those. Okay, so it does actually drain HP. It just doesn't look like it, and of course, since it doesn't show that on the HUD. Might be time to try and run away. Nope. No good. I guess we just have to try for it. I'm really pushing my luck here. Oh, yeah, she's dead. Well, I did kind of imply I was pushing my luck a little bit here, so... Run away? Yeah, gonna be a bit of a problem. Surely she can't use her techniques while dead. Yeah, that would be stupid. Oh, there wasn't a save point in that last town, was there? Shit, we gotta go, like, all the way back. Going to have to eat our one healing item. And just really try to push for it. I don't like running away from battles in RPGs. And also, I have no idea how deep into this level I'm going to be. This chest got some money in it. Yeah, this is a big reason why I don't like to try to run away from battles in anything. Yeah, see, that last attack didn't do anything. That's good. At least these frogs only do like 2 damage a hit. I probably could just try to take them down. If they're going to continue to be such problems. And yeah, that does actual damage, like a good amount when it hits. That's not great. Yeah, a whole 9 damage. Ouch. Can I get some better luck, please? I tried running like twice. Otherwise, I'd try doing it some more. Alright, well, time to try to run away again. Because at this point, that's like all we've got, really, is... Let's try to get out of here. And we are toast. That's game over, and last time we saved was all the way back in the first town. I think at least we had geared ourselves at that point, though, so... So we're in decent shape in that regard. Right? Check my equipment on everybody real quick. Yeah. I mean, we could probably farm up enough money to go buy the fiber coats. Although that, I don't know, is that supposed to be a thing for... I can't remember if we get like an animal buddy into this game the way we did in the way you do in Phantasy Star 1 and some of the other games. Yeah, so we'll at least get ourselves enough money to get one of those, and then we'll try to push on here. I think I might go find a map for this already, because... Yeah, again, this game is really not easy. This is back in the days when games were ridiculously hard. And they really wanted to get the money out of them just in case they were short. Let's head our way up this way. Anything going this way? Oop. Oh, yeah, that's a fair reason to not go and approach that guy. Really? It's... yeah. Go back to ignoring that guy, and... yeah, so I guess going to Shura is our only really, extant location at the moment. So I'm pretty sure that's where that is. Keep looking around the entire map here. this. Right, get our way over there. Let's see if I can go past that location yet. I don't think I can. See what's what else in the area, you know. Okay, yeah, so here's the location that we have to go to, I think. And then there is a little area past here. That's neat. Take a look at everybody. Oh, hey, yeah, I think Rolf learned an ability at this point. Again, judging by the list that I've got over here. And see, there is another building over here. I have a feeling that this is not really a good place for us to go right now, but we can take a peek anyway. Yeah, we need some explosives to blast open the door, looks like. Alright then. Oh god, I was really not paying attention there at all, wasn't I? I died pretty fast. Oh well. That's fine. That's fine. That's my fault for getting sidetracked. Well, it's alright. Best thing to do, just keep at it until we don't screw up. I didn't realize just how much we were getting our asses kicked there. We should be good equipment-wise for the moment. Anyway, let's... Let's go back to not screwing this up I'm gonna double check and make sure there isn't a save point in Arima real quick. Once we get there anyway. There is a healing station. Maybe there'll be a save point. Probably not. I think that got blowed up as well. Excuse me. Yeah, okay, so that's a teleport location, so we can at least use that and the reasonable expense to go save. Is this our... You know, there's our teleport station. What's the other building, then? Oh, yeah, you're the resurrection. Yeah, I can't really tell the icons at a huge glance, so... It's taking me a bit. This tower doesn't actually do anything. It just sort of looks like a interesting building. Alright, go ahead and heal up. And back out. Go to the place we were at before, I guess. And that's about all we can do for the moment. Yeah, more of these. Well, I guess as long as it's not the waspy guys, those might be pretty serious. I think that's what we were fighting in the area over to that other place that was a problem. Okay, so I did pull up a guide. This is a game that doesn't really tell you a whole lot, to be fair, so... This is a thing that's there to, like, help me for shit that I would not think to do very readily otherwise. There's something we can do back in Paseo here. Which is to go back to Rolf's house here. Game at a pack-in guide in the... God, I did not even remember that was a thing. So, hey, if anyone complains at me for using anything here, just... You know, I don't care what you think. Professional biomonster hunter, have a little talent that you're except that you're good with a gun. That's great sales pitch, dude. Rudo is short for Rudolf Steiner. Oh, I don't think I can put Scott in there, so... hopefully you're better than the other Steiner. Alright, so what's up with you? What are your stats feeling? After his wife and child died. Ah, I see. We're gonna have to go into a shop to check our... Right. I remember now. Okay, do we have... We can buy that bow gun, but I... Did you come with anything, buddy? Oh, he's not in our party because I didn't assign him to the party, I guess. Oops. You'll fix that real quick. Okay, here we go. Much more reassuring. Yeah, after that great sales pitch that he gave us, I'm sure it is. Okay, so Rudo, what are you carrying with here? You got a bow gun to start with, and you got your fiber coat, your boots. Okay, so again, fiber coat, that's an actual coat as in jacket sort of situation. Alrighty. Unfortunately, everybody in this game starts out at level 1 because of, you know, meanness. Really rude-ass design that they eventually picked up in Earthbound and a lot of other games. So now we gotta go get some EXP for the guy in order to help get him along a little bit here. That sounded like someone sneezing. Yeah, the big thing that kind of makes this grind actually a pain in the butt is that you really don't get much money. Eesh. Let's take a look at what everybody's got going here. Because Rudo, yeah, Rudo doesn't have any techniques. Rolf. Oh, you've got quite a lot of stuff, actually. You've got Foy, Gifoy, and Sue. I don't know what the hell that last one is, but let's see if we can get a look. Ah, that'll be our lightning technique. I guess they hadn't arrived at Zond yet for the names, and they didn't for a while, actually. Like, the Zonde tech names were added only as late as Phantasy Star Online, interestingly, and then they just cycled through a couple of different ideas for lightning moves up until that point. Okay, so let's see how this works. We'll take a look at Gifoy here. That's pretty strong, but I guess it's single target. Yeah. Oh well. Probably shouldn't have you using too many techs there, Rolf, because you don't have a ton of tech points. How's our money looking? Because we could definitely work on getting some more gear here. And so there's a fair bit of stuff. Yeah, that's a lot of money for any of these. Oh, we're gonna heal anyway and then go back to getting us some more cash. And yeah, of course it costs a little more to heal now because we have 3 party members. So the healing is X amount per party member, which makes sense. It's not that weird, but... Ouch. He definitely took the big hit there. That wasn't great. Nay, you have still just res. Just curious if she'd gotten another technique by now. But I guess not. Oh well. Excuse me. Yeah, because we'd like to at least be able to afford that shotgun for Rudo, and then maybe get the sword for Rolf. But man, it does take a while, so... I apologize for the fact that we're in this situation of we're not making a ton of progress yet, but... Yeah, sometimes you can only do so much, right? Are we anywhere near that yet? Because they don't let you check from your menu, right? Oh no, they do. I just completely ignored it that time several times, because... You know... Really, really clever that I am today. And every other day, for that matter. Right, equip, Rudo. I didn't need to do that, just equip the shotgun. There we go, that'll give him some more damage. Oh boy, what am I looking at here? Above sea level, oh god. See, I thought this was gonna end up being like a software piracy joke, because, well, pirates, but... Anyway. There's an item shop here. I'm pretty sure there was not one of these back in Arima, so... Let's come in here and sell this thing. I don't think I need that dagger at any point, especially not this era. Just do that, and we'll pick up an escape pipe, even though we're probably not going to need it, apparently. We should be gaining the ability to leave dungeons using magic sometime soon, but just as an emergency exit sort of situation, because... God knows that if I don't do that, it'll come up. Wait, can you wear that? No, she can't wear that. But Rolf can use it. So we can equip him with the fiber coat here. So I guess like carbon fiber based thing as opposed to graphite plating or something. Meanwhile, our boy Rudo already has that going on. Yeah, so there's no upgrades we can give him right now. And no footwear to be seen for a ways around here. And just take all these fights. Yep. Actually, what is Rudo's level looking like? He's level 3. He could probably stand to be a little higher level. Go grind levels for him for a bit here. Yeah, we don't have enough money for that sword by a wide margin, so... Get it? Some pretty nice, at least... The fact that shotgun hits multiple enemies, that's pretty good. I like having that available to us. Be able to damage multiple targets, that's quite helpful. Alright, here's our bigger bugs here. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong, are you? How do you know how much stuff is, keep taking a look over in this direction for a little bit now. Like, obviously, I don't think we want to spend too much time in this area because we've got armor ants and we've got spinners. So that's not great. Oh shit, I forgot to tell her to heal. Whatever, if I survive this, I can just heal outside of battle, I guess. Yeah, she's pretty fast at least, so she does get damage in no matter what. Yeah, it's only a flat, like, 20 HP heal, which is kind of a shame, but still quite useful. But I should definitely head back and heal sometime soon. Yeah, just look over at this thing. Ooh, shit, we got one of these guys. Okay. So, Rudo, you go that way. And Rolf, use your big damage techniques there. And off we go. Yeah, okay, so they're not that strong. That's good, at least. It must be the armor ants that are the real bastards here. Oh yeah, you definitely didn't need to Gifoy twice there. Oh well, good chunk of money out of that fight. That's excellent. That is very helpful. Just clear the chaff out here real quick. Decent chunk of money from that fight. That's nice. Money status not enough for that sword. I'm gonna push it a little more to try to get that thing. But who knows? By the time this happens, we might get there with enough to get that and heal. There we go. I was going to say, miss it already somehow? But not quite. Equip that. The protagonist you can't make a good joke for. He is very much a little bit in the more generic boy sort of area, isn't he? Especially you compare him to later, well, earlier and later, I guess. At least he's not named Chaz like the guy in Phantasy Star 4. Asterisk, that's only true for the English version. In Japanese, he's named Rudy. Which, I mean, I can accept that, I suppose. Chaz, though, for our hero, that's... That's a little ridiculous. No, don't be ridiculous. Or do. I mean, I can't tell you what to do. Anyway, we're going to go over to the shop, and we are going to dump our excess gear here. Because, yeah, Rolf can no longer use the knife, and he can no longer use that shield. That'll do. I mean, I guess that if there's a good joke to be had with Rolf, we can just go with the fact that literally the name of the guy from Ed, Edd n Eddy, right? Let's save again, because it's been a minute. And I'd hate to lose progress from my being a goofball, especially this much, right? Oh, here's an interesting bit of world map design. If we go down here, like, you see that we can get up into the top of the tube from going around the edge down there, but we can't go down to get to that edge area. We have to take the long route. Not really. There's not a lot of Rolfs that I mean, I guess you get kind of close with the one Muppet, right? But he does sort of resemble a dog a little bit. Wait. Yeah, I mean, certainly not on a lot of levels here. Yeah, unfortunately, we got a couple of big boys here, but they seem to be going down after only a few turns. And I don't think they did a ton of damage to us. Alright, now I'm going to go look for a bit of a walkthrough of this area, because, yeah. Let's see how everyone's doing here. We could stand to be better leveled, probably, but hey. Maybe it'll work out fine. And we have escape mechanics, so should be fine. fine-ish anyway. Okay, we can at least check everybody's max HP there so I can see how badly damaged everybody is. Hooray! Hey, he learned a new technique. Take a look at what we've got going here. We got Ryuka and Hinas. I believe Ryuka gets to a town, and Hinas gets us out of a dungeon. But I could be wrong about that, so don't necessarily take my word for it yet. Oh yeah, don't forget about the chest. Yeah, on the upside, we're doing a lot of damage with that sword. Right, this side has a locked thing if we take the downward path. Okay, good. I can see if there's a difference between those. So let's try elsewhere for now. Oh yeah, there's a healing item over there for us to pick up. Ah, gross. The armor ant poisoned us. Poisoned. Paralyzed, I'm sorry. I said poisoned for some reason. And just a bunch of our team are getting paralyzed. This is a problem. Thankfully, it's not like paralysis kills you in this case. He does kind of look like that, yeah. Especially now that he's got his basic sword going on. Oh, hey, another headgear, but nobody needs that right now because nobody can use it. Or nobody has anything different. That's fine, we can sell that later. Anything else to look at in here? This area might be... Oh! Whoops. Oh, that only dropped us down here. That's fine. Heck of a sound effect, though. That's a pretty good choice, actually. I mean, a lot of good sounds in general in this game. Music is a little high-pitched, but that's okay. That could be worse. Like that thing. Nay, use the healing ability on yourself, and Rolf, what can you do, buddy? Oh no, that's the block, right? Sure, let's try out Zan. And see how that does. Oh, it's an area of effect damage thing. That's good. I'm very appreciative of that. Oh, I probably should have, like, chosen actual moves here, but these are some definitely weak enemies. The carriers and spinners are a little bit more durable, but the mosquitoes and even the locusts are nothing to worry about for us. So we're good to go. That's perfectly fine. And hey, it's more of these weak guys. This is excellent. Yeah, I'm fine just auto-fighting through this encounter. It should still be okay. Yeah, I told you, nice and simple. At least for now. Checking the area. Hey, only one enemy? That should pose minimal problem. It might deal some damage, but it did not. And in fact, it's a shockingly weak single enemy, come to think of it. Yeah, that thing's locked. Well, of course it won't open if it's locked, game. I don't know why you have to put both those sentences there, but hey. Don't let me stop you, I guess. Two poisoners and a bee, this will be fine to just fight him this way, probably. Nothing else this path, right? Yeah, so we just... Did we already come upstairs? We already came upstairs, didn't we? That's a down, isn't it? Being an idiot here. Yeah, because we've got the pit going on here. We got our 200 Meseta and scan the rest of the area to be sure. Bar is cream bar. Yeah, because of all the shortening, so it's... Wait, no, sorry, that's the wrong type of... But yeah, because they're shortening the word ceramic, not... It's not an ice cream sandwich. As funny as that would be. Hey, Sega, I've got an idea, and part of it ends in a joke weapon here. Clearly, you guys should let me make games in this series, and it will be a huge mess, but that's not necessarily that unusual. Okay, I'm just making sure that I didn't miss anything here. Yeah, this is the area that we were in before. And you can see that we're on the other side of the blockade now. Cool, we gained another level. I probably should throw some heals out here. I think we're okay, actually, but I wanted to get Nate topped off because of her relative fragility here. This second layer on the map, by the way, since it's handled in such a rudimentary way because, you know, 1989, it definitely is, like, very disruptive feeling. I don't like it a whole lot. Okay, so I guess if we were to have come in from the southeast here, we would have just seen that. Yeah, this should lead us upstairs. Ooh, yeah, we got some dead bodies from all these crooks who have been around here. Yeah, by the way, if you hold the B button, the enemy sprites move faster. Okay, holding the B button actually speeds up the combat, so that's good. That's helpful, because for some of these that get a little longer, it would be nice to be able to do that. Yeah, I definitely need to have Nay heal herself, and probably also Rolf. I think Rudo is probably okay with 51 HP. Yeah, they do quite a lot of damage to Ney. Do you have any more interesting techniques besides Resta? You do not. So I think we'll just go back into fight mode here and do things the easy way. Oh, thank goodness, something much easier now. Fortunately, holding the B button doesn't make us move faster on the overworld map. That would be quite useful. Thank goodness that thing missed. Yeah, I think now would be a good time to heal again also for at least just to heal Ney. Again, it's only 20 HP back, but that's fine if it's as cheap as it is. Anything else to say other than wondering if the bio monsters biohazards? Bit of a swapped term there. Wondering which one will wondering if they killed anybody here. Which the answer is probably yes. Ooh, new enemies. Let's see what these guys are capable of. Answer, probably murdering us, but no, they seem to just be... They're quite weak. Okay. I mean, I guess you might not expect a whole lot out of an amoeba, but also... Listen, these games can be kind of assholey. I think I want that chest. Can we get to the chest? That would be a good idea. Again, thankfully for the game giving me some of those easy encounters here and there. We'll give the silver ribbon to Ney because obviously she's got to be the one who can equip that, right? It would be really strange if she couldn't, so... Yeah, and that seemed to have given her some more defense. I saw the numbers shift. So, that's pretty neat. Oh. Turned around like that, then. Strange choice. Just keep going through here. And yeah, those amoebas are not really a great concern of ours. The spinner might be a little more dangerous. Oh, I see. That's why we got turned around, air quotes, is because we were turned to face down after the end of the battle. I didn't notice that until now. That's a decision, all right. What a strange choice. Also, here's some hostile terrain design here. Designed to pad out your experience. Yeah, he's not really the most impressive in terms of the ability to actually get things done in necessarily the timeliest of manners, huh? Oh well. Yeah? Ah, yeah, just steal the guy's items. Let's take a look at that letter. Wait, the note says, I say newt, wow. Note says, Darum, I have your daughter Tame locked in Nido Tower. Pay 50,000 Meseta in 1 month if you ever want to see her again. Oh boy, that's a lot of grinding you'd have to do to get the money Darum turned to crime. Ooh. Oh boy. That is not great. Yeah. Yeah. So now we have the key. We can probably go loot those locked chests. And to be perfectly honest with you, I am thinking that we're going to escape from this dungeon, go back and get a full heal, because especially we need our TP back. They haven't seemed to have invented ethers at this point. Yeah. Enos, I think? Yep. Whoop. And we can definitely just walk back and fight the basic enemies out here, because this is pared down the group a little bit here. Plus, it might be a good idea for us to go back to our hometown and dump off some of the equipment we can't use. Oh yeah, we have to go sell them at the other other shop. Whoops. Rolf, do you have, yeah, you've got the headgear still to dump off. And Nay has a ribbon that she can't use anymore. Here, Rudo, you hold the letter, because I certainly don't need it anymore. Oh yeah. Remember to heal. Whoops. Zone was where? It's on this side of town. Right, yeah, it was lower down. I was thinking of the other one. Oops. Wow, everybody forgot what accuracy was in that fight, huh? Eesh. At least all of our hard hitters. And there's Arma. We do need to go back there eventually for some extra gear, but for now we still have a little bit of Sure to loot. Because we need the dynamite that's locked in the chests there in order to proceed, because we were told they still have some bombs around, so... And also we need those in order to blow open the entrance to the tower location. Which is a little further down the map from where we're at. And now remember what we did here. We go around this way. And while it's a long walk, it'll be fine, probably. Yeah. Gotta go all the way around this area. Yeesh. Right. Go over here, and now we get to search the area and go check all those locked chests. Hey, there's our dynamite already. Excellent. That was nice and fast. Hey, nice. Rolf got to actually swing first that time. Hooray! Maybe he's not quite as slow as that. Or maybe it was just luck. Alright. Rolf used the key here. And we found some more dynamite. Excellent. I had a feeling we're going to need all of the stuff in here. Excuse me. Oh, neat. She learned a new technique. Is it a new healing move? It's anti. I mean, kind of. That removes poison, so it is healing of a sort. It's just not HP back kind of healing. And we get a monomate. So that went to Nay, right? Rudo? Where is it? Oh, okay, so the inventory pages are up there. Okay, well, good thing that you have more than 8 inventory slots each. I was a little worried there that things were going to get that tight that fast. I think it probably won't then. And I'm noticing something as we go, that the way battles work, I'm pretty sure that our amount of attacks are going to be based on how many weapons we have equipped. So it probably would be a good idea for us to switch over to getting those 2 ceramic knives for Rolf. Assuming that we have the money, which I actually don't know yet. I'll have to look after this battle. Plus, by the time we get to Arima, we might have more money yet. Yeah, 56, and they were 2,800 apiece, I think. So that'll be enough for us to grab both of those, presumably. Wow, we all just completely missed Froggy. This explains a lot about Sonic Adventure, right? Froggy? Yes. What a game. It's pretty decent. Me avoiding saying good does kind of make it sound a little bit like I'm like, oh, that game's terrible. No, I liked Sonic Adventure. they're doing that animation. I mean, yeah, that's true. We could actually understand how it worked, and the game told us how to play, as opposed to just leaving us to hang out to dry. Which was very strange for a Zelda game, you know? Yeah, I mean, big fishing... Pardon me, fishing as big. Not to be confused with big fishing, i.e. the concept from FF14. It takes some getting used to, but it's not that bad. It's perfectly fine, actually. Yeah, and these enemies are still, once again, quite easy. We did get to a point where these were non-concerns very fast, so at least that's good. I guess this is also probably still the era of not a whole lot of levels in your game's level limit, so... Yeah, exactly. Alright, so we're back here in Arima, and I shouldn't need to heal before I go to back to starting town. Back to Paseo. Alright, yeah. Rolf. Take those. And we're good to go. With that, we just gotta equip them. Alright, Rolf, go to the next page. Hey. I guess because it resets to the top there, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, our attack is looking much better there. Here, hold that for now, Nay. You can hold the key, I guess, that we don't need for a while, if ever. In fact, I presume we don't need it anymore at all. Hooray! Easily squish the super easy enemies. Yeah, let me sell my no longer useful sword here. That should do for now. And then we heal here because it's marginally cheaper. And then we walk back Well, we save after we heal. But then we walk back to the tower. Oh no, teleport station. Whoops. Sorry, wrong place. All these buildings look very the same. That should change what the data looks like. Yeah, we're up to level 8 now. See, we gained at least something out of going to that tower. Plus, we discovered where the plot goes, and we got some explosives. Clean the enemies out, and... remember, this time we gotta go much further because our goal is the location beyond Shore, which is... crap, what was it called? Tower of Nito, right, okay. And of course, Rolf, who's going to probably be one of our bigger damage dealers now, gets paralyzed first. Good job, dude. Good work. You're doing great for yourself there, buddy. Yeah, I mean, those double hits with those daggers are doing a good chunk of damage. Although we were doing a really bad job of actually staying locked onto those spiders. With the amount of misses we were doing there. Spiders. The game says they're ants. I apologize. I didn't mean to overrepresent it. Yeah, you guys should stand back. Including you, Rudo. What was that pattern and why did we end up basically putting him up front to take the entire explosion for us, basically? Ooh, what a gross noise. Don't like that. Yeah, here's some slightly hardier enemies, so this might be a bit rougher of a time. But that's alright. We didn't have that bad a time, actually. Wow. It just looked a little scary. Alright, well, here's just one of these, so that's good. And just free experience at that point. Alright, so there's our way up. Just want to take a quick check to make sure there's nothing else here. Okay, this spit kill enemy, we haven't seen this thing before. So that's a little bit nerve-wracking, but I think it missed us anyway, so we can't tell if it's actually a problem or not. Oh, it seemed like it did some pretty solid damage there. I just missed what my pre-hit taking count was, like maybe 50 something, so it might not be as bad as I thought it was. But that doesn't mean we won't throw out some heals here. Seeing as how Nay has a decent amount of mana. Okay, yeah, so that just goes. More of those guys. And back up we go. Back up. We're not even going back up, really. It's just going up, period. Get 100 Meseta. That's not a lot, but hey. The amount of effort that was involved was very low. Yeah, not a lot to see over here. Ooh, a Toter. This will be a new enemy. Palette swap, but still. Doesn't seem to be that dangerous, which is great, because at this point we could definitely use anything not being too bad. More easy boys. Excellent. Told you, easily cleared out. Those carriers are not really that impressive. Ooh, nice, a Trimate. That'll probably be a full heal. Ooh, that undulation looks a little gross, these leechers. I mean, ultimately, it's not really that unusual. I think it's just the way it looks. Sometimes something very, very normal can be rendered in a way that makes it look kind of awful. Or otherwise, like, makes your senses kind of go, ooh, don't like that so much. So that's fun. Yeah, I don't think there's much in this side of the map anymore now that we've gotten all these treasures. Vortex. Yeah, here's a palette swap of the spinner enemy. Pretty sturdy. Well, then I guess good thing that it's showing up with the froggies at the same time, because I'd prefer to fight that with easy shit, you know? Because otherwise that could be a bit of a problem. Now back this way. Ooh, wow. This is literally right there. Alright, so now we're on the second floor. Slight west turn. Follow the path some more. You got 20 Meseta. You probably didn't need a box that big for that, guys. But hey, why not? Any other goodies here? The answer is no, it's just a very elaborate dead end this time. Hey, we gained a level. Now back up we go. And go around this way. Ah, here we go. Here's some heavy hitters. Really, this would probably be a good place for me to start using some techniques, but it'll be fine. Just get through the battle and heal afterwards. Oh, hey. It won't let me press that as the first button input out of there. Out of battle, it looks like. I don't know if it's just been acting a little funky in that regard, so could be. Oh. I keep thinking to try to press a button to run, but it's not. That's not a thing that exists in this game. And now go to the left, I assume. Yep. Ooh. Found a diamate. Probably should like distribute my items a little bit more, but I'll deal with that eventually, probably. Or I'll forget. That's how it usually goes. Yeah, these guys are rapidly becoming no big deal, so that's excellent. I am extremely glad for that. Alright, now go up. Look around here. Ooh. Yeah, 60 Meseta. That's not bad. And we got these things whose jaws are flopping a lot. But so far, they don't seem to be too bad of a fight, even. Which is a bit of a surprise. I guess just having that third party member is that valuable. And really, to be fair, It kind of is. Like, I was glad to have been able to bull rush getting our third-party member back when we played off a few months ago. So... yeah, okay, there's nothing else here. Alright, 1 second. Just a little chair adjustment here. Guess we're going back downstairs now. Oh. They're gonna require me to take a different path here, huh? Yeah, I gotta go south for the 1 step, right? Once again, grateful for these being still the easy fights and no 3 vortex yet, because we've only seen that 1 time, I think. Or perhaps I just did not comment on it any other time and I've forgotten already. Whatever the case may be. This place is, like, really a mess, isn't it? Very complicated. Do you build it this way on purpose? I mean, I'm not talking about, like, from a level design perspective, because obviously, yes, but from just an in-world perspective, right? Nope. I wasn't paying attention to where I was in the thing. Okay, back to regular poisoners instead of the spit kills. These guys will be weaker, but they still seem to give... hey, they still give over 100 Meseta for that counter, so... as if I'm gonna complain. Ah, yeah, here's the nastier looking fight, but... I'm sure we can come away from this just fine. Probably. Oh, not so great that we got here, that we got back attacked by these guys, I guess. I guess that counts as such, so... that's not as good, but hey, we did see that enemy again. This encounter was really not worth very much cash, but I guess the scaling on that is a little slower in this game than a lot of others, right? Oh, hey, are you tame? Are you the kid we were looking for? My father has become a killer for my sake. I must stop. Boom. Rudo puts a veil over Tame to hide her identity. Yeah, you just had this with you. And she gets added to our inventory. I think she's in Rudo's possession. Yeah. You know, I guess we just shove her in our sacks and we go, which is all kind of strange, but hey. let's go ahead and let's warp out, because I'm sure we don't need to get literally every bit of experience. We can get a decent amount without it. And then Ryuka back to our last save point. And granted, it's over here, but that's not that bad. That's not very far from where we need to be at all. What's our money look like? 6,600. That's pretty good. We could go to Aramon. We could get 2 ceramic knives for Rudo, because he can use those apparently. So I mean, really, why not, right? All right. Yeah, and that'll give us some more attacks and just overall more attack power. That's nice. Right? Rudo, equip that. Oh, they give a little bit of defense too. That's pretty good. But yeah, his attack power is much higher now. And he'll get 2 attacks per turn, so that's helpful. Right, walk in the tube just barely here. Oh, wrong area. The other tube is up here. Right. Yeah, of course, he's not going to get a chance to show that off because we cleaned everything up with the other 2 first. And yeah, here we go. And then we just let her out. We should probably take the thing off of her head. Guys, did you not think to... Yeah, and he just killed his daughter. And... Oh, shit. All right. That went about as badly as it possibly could. He just killed himself after killing his daughter. Ooh, this is gonna be pretty heavy, isn't it? Yikes.